Basically to mapping of our entire seabed of Indian Ocean is done by hydrographers. Navy is the prime thing in that.
Very small, I think that what you have seen just after entering that it's a very few institute and very few can pass. On behalf of that institution and my colleagues, fortunate also to include them in this presentation. This is also a very good one for us. And on personal behalf, once again, I welcome you all. I can take care of it. Thank you.
So it's a 15-day trip, sir, and likely to cover a student of more than 10 to 15 institutes we will cover, including schools, and we'll just spread the awareness. As we all know, sir, the Indian Navy is one of the armed forces. We are the third part of the armed force: Indian Army, Indian Air Force, and Indian Navy. We are responsible for safeguarding the border, the sea border, which is almost 7,052 kilometers. If we see the amount of GDP in my PPT, I will try to cover. The GDP of entire nation, 95% of the GDP is routed through sea. So safeguarding sea is what is more important. That's why the Navy is growing in strength, and we are working on these lines. Now I am starting my actual presentation. Sorry for this technical glitch. As you see, the shoreline counts for almost 80% of GDP. So security of that 7,000 long shoreline is very important. So for that we are here. As you know, this is the awareness campaign which I am which we all are going to cover. So for that I will cover a few aspects which you will cover to your students. They can also join us in the way. There are two entries which we have. One is for officers, other is for sailors. Both of them I will cover there. First of all, coming to officers, commissioned officer. Commissioned officer is the thing which is commission is a order or a written thing which is given by a president, the first citizen of India, to a person in armed forces, that on my behalf I am commissioning you. Basically, we all are representative of our president. So that is the value of a commission thing or a commissioned officer. The Navy structure I like to cover here. Navy structure, we have Chief of Naval Staff who sits in the headquarters of Indian Navy in New Delhi. We got 3 operational command, 2 operational, 1 is technical training command, commanded by a 3-star officer. CNC we call it, Commander-in-Chief. West is located in Mumbai, East is located in Vizag, whereas South is located in Cochin. Coming to the operational command, we have 2 operational fleet, which are namely Western Fleet as well as the Eastern Fleet. Western Fleet is located in Mumbai to take care of Pakistan and the western side. The Eastern Fleet is located in Visakhapatnam to take care of China. Both fleet, in Western Fleet we have an aircraft carrier, whereas in Eastern Fleet the new aircraft carriers individually is likely to come. We as a Navy, we have defined few roles by our Parliament, because Parliament has inducted a concept, just conceived the concept of Indian Navy, where we got 4 roles. Military, the war fighting, or primarily we are meant for war fighting. Second is diplomatic, we are supposed to spread goodwill to the remaining countries. Constabulary, basically helping our government in establishment of law and order if the situation. We are multi-dimensional force, where you see Army operates on land, Air Force operates in air, we operate combination of all 3. Surface, basically our ships, submarine, the subsurface role who are underwater, and in air we have our naval air arm. The branch structure, basically how the officers are divided. We got 4 major branch. One is executive, the prime branch, the main branch which we call it. Then technical, where technical expertise from the officers is required. For a ship to go from a place to other place is to be navigated, because in sea we don't have landmarks. We route through GPS or other navigation equipments. The ND, that's we got navigation direction DK. So that communication is basically ship is alone identity to communicate the orders from ship to shore and shore to ship is the responsibility of communication branch. Anti-submarine warfare is to basically, as we saw, we got subsurface section, submarine dives. Photography, basically to mapping of our entire seabed of Indian Ocean is done by hydrographers. Navy is the prime thing in that. Coming to law, we got a law branch which establishes if any case is there or any law establishment required. Logistics who take care of all supplies to us, the supplies of spares, supplies of food and material to the Navy naval personnels. Air traffic control (ATC), where basically our substations, air station from where the aircraft is launched, ATC controls them. Naval Armament Inspectorate to take care of the all weapons which are provided by government to us, just to take care of them. And IT is the branch in this tech-savvy world. We are having it. Coming to technical branch, we have aeronautical engineer, marine engineer, electrical engineer, and followed by naval architect. Naval architecture is they design ships. So we are made in India. We are not more dependent on Western world or for that matter for Russia to get the ships. We are designing our ship. We are getting a good result for that. If a commissioned officer join Indian Navy for a professional excellence, or we have basically if a person want to grow in Navy, we have various courses. We have license or basically MOU signed with various IITs. So if a technical officer want to grow in service, we provide them tech courses with IITs and IITs. Now I will cover how this particular career, which you can also communicate to your students. Basically, we have a mix of sea appointment, which is a ship, and shore appointment, which are base. And we got unique systems. Few systems are from Israel, few are from Russia, few are Indian made, few are from even Italy. So collaboration or working, basically we see the working of all the systems is the prime job which an officer do. No monetary new experience. Here everything is new. Every day is a new day for us. Like me, I am a Garbi officer, but now I am riding a bicycle, or riding a car, or riding a motorcycle. Naval value system is a defense forces. They got a unique value system. We always respect for values, like moral values. We should be. There is no difference between caste, creed, and color. We all are equal. In my team also, if you see, there are representation from North India. I got a South Indian chaps. I got a chap from Haryana. I got a Northeast. In this way, we are unique. Life in a ship. Now, have you ever been ship? Nobody? Okay. So it's a mini city. Everything is sustainable. And the floating thing is like a city who is floating. We got food items over there. We got weapons. We got fuel. We got everything, whatever is required. So that is the life on board a ship. Here, two types of commissions are there for a commissioned officer. One is permanent. Another is short service commission. If you officers want to join for a short duration, they can opt for short service commission. If want to be want to opt for permanent commission, this is a different entries for that, which I will cover. The benefits or the basically the perks is this: permanent commission is minimum 20 years you have to serve, and after that you will get pension and retirement benefits. Where in short service commission you serve from 10 to 14 years, and after that you get retired. Now for women, we have a good, it's basically, we are not gender biased or something, women can't do, men can do, here all can do. We have women flyers, we have women technical officers, women education officers. At present, we are also basically inducting women as pilot and observer, medicals, logistic support, education, air traffic control, the law cadre. This is the permanent commission under which women are entering as a permanent officer. Coming to SSB interview is the biggest thing which you have to pass prior getting inducted as an officer in Indian Navy. SSB interview is from British time. If they want to induct any Indian as a officer, so they used to conduct the service selection board. It got basically they judge a candidate on three aspects. One is group tasking, how he is performing in a group. Second is command, how he is performing as an individual. Third is psychological. How is performing? What is his psyche? This is the group test, psychological analysis, interpersonal skills, and leadership task, which is the command task. On these 4 aspects, they judge them. And something like we got OLQs, officers like qualities, 16 are there. If they are qualifying for 12, they will induct that officer. Coming to medical test, we have to be very physically as well as mentally fit. We got a different criteria for medical test. Only then, if you are within the medicals, medical test is done at the last. If you are passing everything but not medically fit, they will not induct you. So medically fit candidate is the must over there. Here we got Indian Naval Academy located in Kerala, Edimala. If all these things is done, you are most welcome to join Indian Navy as officer. Now, coming to the thing, here in INA, if a boy, if a 10, 12th pass boy joins, he undergoes a course for 3.5 years or to be exact 4 years. Engineer degree he gets from there, that too from JNU, Jawaharlal Nehru University. After that he passed out as a commissioned officer. And other direct entry officers, like after graduation, if he joins through CDS and other thing, he will undergo a course of 1 year, the training, minimum training part, and after that he is a commissioned officer. So total duration at academy 4 years and 1 year. Now this is the rank structure, which now at present if you see, sub-lieutenant is the initial commissioned rank, followed by lieutenant, lieutenant commander, commander, then captain, commodore, rear admiral, vice admiral, and the admiral is the last. He is the CNS. Only one admiral is there in entire Navy at present, basically at a time. This is the rank and pay band. Is as per pay band, this pay commission 7 recently included. So you can see the amount of benefits and amount of pay which generally awarded to the cost to company. Generally corporate world says say the CTC. So if you see my CTC, if a officer joins at a sub-lieutenant, my CTC is going to be 13 lakhs. Coming to few allowances, if you are doing something more than your assigned task, you will get allowance. So these are the allowances, like a marine commando, which I told you, commando who operates. They got almost 25,000 per month, diving allowance, sea going allowance if you are sailing on a ship, and technical, hydrographic, and then uniform allowance. Leave entitlement. The armed forces, we get maximum leave. No corporate will give you 60 days of AL, where we get 60 days of AL, which is paid. Then we got LTC, that is leave travel concession. We get the entire fare from government if you are traveling on leave from our workstation to our home. This is called LTC, entire fare. That is airfare, which we get. 20 days of casual leave also allowed. So if we see total 80 days of paid leave, which is we divided by, see in the terms of months, is almost 3 months. This 25% of the entire duration. So amount of benefits are very high. Additional leave is also there for ladies, for women officers. This leave they get for almost 6 months. Then if somebody is studying, so he will get a study leave. If somebody got sick, he is not able to perform, then he will get a sick leave. This is additional leaves. Coming to sailor entry, like I have covered officer's entry, now this is the sailor entry. The same thing for sailors. There are 3 entries which are there. One is technical entry, and that is we call artificers, AA, and one is SSR, that is the major chunk of entry, which is 10 plus 2, he has to be a science student, followed by metric recruits, that is 10th pass, which we take. Sports entry, sports quota entry is there, which Manoj will cover afterward, since he is the alumni of your student and your institute. Coming to artificer entry, sailor entry is only for males. So only male candidate can apply for artificer entry. Age should be between 17 to 20. If he scores 55% and more in PCM, he is eligible and he will be undergoing the examination. For SSR, that is senior secondary recruits, we have 10 plus 2 or PCM or biology if he is having, then age should be between 17 to 21 years. For metric recruits, that is the 10th pass, age same. Here, this is the helping branch under which we recruit 10th pass. Stewards, cooks, musician and hygienist. A recruitment process for sailors is very simple. Online we have to apply. Then after that the call letter will be issued to you. You will go for writing your exam, post-writing exam. Then you have to go for something known as physical fitness test. Then after a physical fitness test, if you qualify the minimum criteria which they require, the medical examination will be conducted. If you are medically fit, you will be inducted as a sailor. Coming to same medical tests which are there. So just okay. Coming to rank and pay, I will cover rank and pay. Rank and pay, our sailor, if he is getting inducted, he will be C2. We call seaman, S-E-A-M-E-N, seaman. So we are not heman, we are seaman. So initial rank is seaman 2 and 1. And then leading, then after that we got petty officer, chief petty officer, master chief petty officer second class, master chief petty officer first class. Again 7th pay commission, if you see the pay in the pay band, it's like this. MSP stands for military service pay, which only armed forces get. This paramilitary forces and other forces, police, they doesn't get. This is a special pay, not even IAS are getting MSP, we are getting MSP. This is a rank and structure for artificer, which I covered the technical entry. They got slightly higher than the normal entry.